Hey everyone, Angel0XD here, and welcome to my first attempt at a Pokemon FireRed Hardcore Nuzlocke. Welcome to Kanto, a land of nostalgia. I played this region a lot as a kid, but now I figured it's time to spice it up. If you're watching this, you may already know the rules of a Hardcore Nuzlocke, and you can skip right over it, it's fine. If not, then let's discuss it. First, you can only catch the first Pokemon on each route or area. Duplicates are not allowed. Next, any Pokemon fainted are considered dead and boxed permanently. Third, only held items are allowed in battle. Fourth, no overleveling past the next gym leader or Elite Four's ace. Fifth, battle mode is always set at set, meaning we cannot switch if an opponent's Pokemon gets knocked out. And lastly, every Pokemon caught gets a nickname. This will create an emotional bond and make it more impactful if they faint. Well, die. Now with all that out of the way, let's get into it. First things first, I decided to break up my Nuzlockes in episodes due to my limited time. Life can be busy, but we can find time to get in our passions. We start our journey the same way, talking to the professor. I name myself, and name the professor's grandkid for some reason. Starting off, I finish playing Nintendo, and I make my way to my computer. I grab the potion that's in there, and then make my way downstairs. And like all moms in the world of Pokemon, she's comfortable sending her 10-year-old off alone into this world. We run into Professor Oak, and he takes us to get our first Pokemon. Since this is my first Nuzlocke, I decided to go with Bulbasaur. And as a nod to my coworkers, I decide to name him Hiya. JD decides to go with Charmander, makes sense. And then as I try to leave, he stops me. This is my first ever battle with Nuzlocke rules. Hopefully, we can make it past this one. He sends out his Charmander, and then I send out Hiya. I'm trying to figure out, do I want to go offensive or defensive? Normally I would go with the offensive, but I decided to go with the defensive route here. I go with a growl to lower his attack, and then he attacked with Scratch. Decent damage, so now I switch up to the offense. Hit him with a tackle, and then he continues to go with his offensive. I hit him with another tackle, and I'm just hoping now just get a critical hit. He continues to go with his Scratch, and I continue to go with my tackle. And I bring him down to yellow. I'm doing pretty good so far. He gets me down to yellow. Now I'm kind of worried about getting hit with a critical hit, but I get lucky and hit him with a critical hit. He goes down and I win my first ever Nuzlocke battle. Good job, Hiya. Hiya levels up, and we proceed to hear JD complain about how he got the wrong Pokemon. Then I take his lunch money, and then we start with our journey. I set the battle to set mode and then proceed. I stop and talk to this guy, gives us a potion. Won't be able to use that in battle anyway, but it's good to have, you never know. We get our first encounter, but this one won't count because I don't have any Pokeballs yet. So we're just gonna hit him and then learn Leaf Seed and then continue to move on. We get to Viridian City to get Oak's parcel, which we didn't know we were supposed to get, and we bring it back to him. And then he gets really excited, we deliver it, and then our rival shows up. He gives us our Pokeballs, we grab a town map, and now we officially can catch our first encounter. After I'm walking around a little bit, we run into a Pidgey, which I'm really excited about because I like Pidgey. So I'm hoping we can catch it. So I hit it with a tackle, hits me with a tackle, hit it back, and go figure, I get a critical hit. Not really what I wanted. We head up to Viridian City to grab some more Pokeballs and some antidotes. We're gonna need that later. And Paralyzed Heals, cause you never know, probably good to have. We head over to Route 22 to get our next encounter. I'm really hoping for a Mankey here. That would be really helpful against Brock. And to our luck, Mankey appears. We send out Hiya, and then we decide to go with Tackle. It goes for a Scratch, and I go for another Tackle. Hoping we do not get a critical hit here, we get fortunate. We reach into our bag, grab the Pokeball, send it off, and we catch Mankey, our first encounter on a Nuzlocke challenge. We name him Chan. It just felt right. He was a martial artist, and it just felt good. We talk to the old guy who shows us how to catch a Pokemon after we caught our first Pokemon, and then sends us with a TTTV. Get this potion behind this tree, and head over to Route 2 to to see if we can get our next encounter. We run into a Rattata. I think Rattata would be good for our party, especially because it learns Hyper Fang later on. We throw a Pokeball, hoping that we don't KO it too soon, and he's just being stubborn. We throw another one. Luckily, we caught it on our second try. So I decided to name it Rattata because he was being a little bit of a brat. Viridian Forest. A lot of poison types here. We don't want to get hit with the poison status, so that's why we got that antidote earlier. We go after this Weedle in hopes that we can get this next encounter here. We get it right into the red, just where we want it to be. Luckily, it hits us with a couple string shots, so I throw out a Pokeball, and we manage to catch our third encounter. We name our new friend Mary J after Mary J. Blige. It just felt appropriate. We head north and we get stopped by our first Pokemon trainer since our arrival. He decides to go for Weedle, and I send out Hiya. I think Hiya is strong enough to handle these poison types because he's also a poison himself. He goes for a string shot, lowering my speed, but I'm not too worried about that. He continues his offensive with Poison Sting, but again, I'm not too worried about that. I hit him with a couple tackles, and then level up, waiting for his next Pokemon. He sends out Caterpie. I use Leech Seed to get some HP back, figured that would help since I can't use items in battle. He goes for a string shot to lower my speed, and I hit him with a growl. At this point, I'm just stalling so I can continue to recover some HP with Leech Seed. I decide to go with a tackle, and I recover some more HP again. He goes for another string shot to lower my speed, which really isn't going to do anything at this point, so I go for another tackle. I knock out his Caterpie, and we win our battle. And let the grinding begin. We get our first scare, almost losing Chan in the process, but we get lucky. He only had 1 HP left, so we switch him out just so he doesn't faint or die, and then we knock out that Pidgey. We had another scare with a critical hit with Mary J, but she managed to survive, and we are fortunate. Mary J levels up to level 7 and evolves to Kakuna, our first evolution on this front. Kakuna isn't going to do too much right now, but we like it anyway, so we're going to hold on to you. We head back, now we're able to challenge our rival JD again. This is our second battle against him, but I think we can handle it. I lead with Hiya and he leads with a Pidgey. I start off with Leech Seed because I want to make sure that we're covered with healing throughout the battle. I begin the offensive with Tackle and he continues his offensive with his Tackle. Fortunately, the Leech Seed continues to recover me. Out of curiosity, we use Vine Whip to see how much damage it would do with Stab, but it didn't do as much as I thought, so we went back to Tackle. We knock out his Pidgey, level up, and he continues to send out his ace, Charmander. We Leech Seed him too, and then he uses Scratch. So then we continue our offensive with Tackle as he continues his offensive with Scratch, but luckily Leech Seed will keep us healthy. I hit with another critical hit, and we defeat JD again. He gets all huffy puffy, and he leaves. From here, we continue grinding to get ready for the gym leader. We beat this guy, we run into another bug catcher, beat him too, and run into another one. We beat him too. We get this potion, run into another one, beat him too. And we finally make it to Pewter City. Pewter City is a quiet town nestled in the northern mountains between Route 2 and Route 3. The Pewter Museum of Science and the Pewter Gym are located here. So this guy takes me all the way to the Pewter Museum. I don't really need to go in there right now, so I just go right to the gym. I like talking to this guy when I'm here. He makes me feel all hyped up and encouraged. So every time I stop and talk to him. I like to ensure that at every gym, I challenge every gym trainer there is. So I start by challenging him. We start off by beating his Geodude, and we beat his Sandshrew as well. Vine Whip was huge. He wasn't really that hard. Next comes the gym leader, Brock. He talks about how awesome he is with his rock types and blah blah blah, but you know what? I'm not really too worried about it. So, we start our first gym challenge. Brock is going to lead with his Geodude, and then he follows up with his Onix after that. Not too concerned with it overall. My strategy with Brock is pretty straightforward. Chop, kick, chop, kick. Back and forth, back and forth. The thing is, his Geodude has no rock-type moves. I'm not worried about it, especially with Chan. And his Onix, even though it has Rock Tomb, it's really not that good. It's really bulky, but it kind of gets negated because its HP stat is really low at 35. So honestly, it was kind of a breeze for Chan. He levels up, and we beat Brock. After talking all that smack at the beginning, he ends up losing. Brock, you're not all that great, man. I wish you were better, but, you know, it is what it is. He gives us our Boulder Badge and our TM, and our ability to use the HM Flash. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. We beat Pewter City, and now we're on our way to Cerulean City. That'll be the next episode. Hopefully we can pass that. We'll see. Stay tuned for that. If you like what you see and you want to see some more, it'd be awesome and mean the world to me if you could hit that subscribe and turn on the notifications bell as well. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned.